Have you ever thought about just how busy a month can be, and then you're at the end of the month, aka you're into the next month, and you're just like, wow, I did a lot that past month, because that's how I'm feeling. This past September was flippin' crazy, and not just because it was my birthday month, but just in general, I felt like I was just traveling a lot. I was just kind of all over the place, but man, was it a fun month. Hello everybody, this is that Manga Dude, and welcome to another pickups video, and this is for, if you couldn't guess, the month of September 2025. And this past month, like, it was pretty flippin' crazy. I mean, I traveled down south to San Diego, I traveled up north to my hometown, and of course, I'm looking for manga in all those places, and wow, did I find a lot of crazy stuff. I am so excited to talk about this, because it is a very eclectic mix. A lot of, like, interesting manga that I didn't think I'd ever see, in, at least, like, in a collector's store. So I'm really excited to get into it, and I hope you have a great time watching this one. So let's get started right now. Okay, so if you've never been to one of my pickups videos before, the way this works is that I talk about manga that either A, the publisher is defunct, or B, I just didn't get a lot from. And yes, there is a lot of publishers that I picked up this month where I only got 1 to 2 volumes, so you're going to see a lot of publishers. So first up, from Del Rey, I managed to pick up Volume 10 of Nodame Cantabile from Tomoko Ninomiya. Really happy to have this, because honestly, like, it's been rough trying to find volumes up to where I'm at, which is now Volume 10, of course, because this series is out of print, as well as Del Rey being absorbed into, I want to say Kodansha. I never remember. That's my fault. I should do more research. But Nodame Cantabile is a really fun series. I need to catch up on it now that I have quite a few more volumes to read, but it follows a story about this girl here, who's just kind of like this quirky, strange, kind of wacky girl, but she plays the piano in such a specific way that it entices the main character, and he's very interested in how she plays and why she plays, while he's more of like a no-nonsense, kind of straightforward composer slash pianist. So yeah, it's about their dynamic with one another, her being completely smitten with him, and he's like, oh, okay, you're kind of strange, but you are very fascinating. So it's a really interesting little dynamic. It's all about music, which is, you know, something that I am a huge fan of when it comes to manga, and yeah, excited to have the next volume. Alright, up next from Seven Seas. I actually only got 1 volume from Seven Seas this month, and that is for Idol X Idol Story. This is volume 2 from Shotaro Tokuno. I read the first volume a couple months ago, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. I like how the characters are developed. We are definitely getting into the meat of things, where we're getting into the main competition, what it seems like with this volume 2, so I'm excited to get into this one as soon as possible. Alright, up next from Scholastic Graphics, that is going to be Spider-Man Shadow Warrior from Shogo Aoki. I actually just picked this up literally yesterday, so the last day of September, and I don't really know much about it. It does look pretty cool. It looks like it's going to be a Spider-Man manga focusing on Venom, I suppose, which is pretty neat. So yeah, don't know much about it. I just been enjoying these kind of like random Marvel slash DC manga coming out, so excited to check this one out. Alright, up next from Last Gasp Books, that is going to be I Saw It, a survivor's true story of the atomic bombing of Hiroshima from Keiji Nakazawa. This is the same mangaka behind the really popular manga series that's kind of around the same idea that known as Barefoot Gen or Gen. But yeah, I Saw It, I believe, is supposed to be like his like actual interpretation of what exactly happened and what he saw specifically. So really interested to see. Is it about him, or is it about? Yes, it is about him. Okay, I just want to make sure. So excited to get into this. It is a smaller volume, so I'm interested to read this soon, and yeah, I'll be talking about it hopefully within the next couple of reading logs. Alright, up next from Udon, a long-awaited manga that I have been waiting so long to pick up. That is Veil Volume 1 from Koteri. Yes, it follows a story about this guy who you can't see, he's a policeman, and her, who's this like woman who's kind of wandering around, and she gets offered a job at his police station, and it's about their dynamic and friendship slash relationship, kind of like sexual tension slash romantic tension going on. And yeah, it is really cool to have this finally. It took a while because it's sold out almost immediately, and then finding a second print was actually way more difficult than I expected it to be, but managed to find it at an Animate, or at Animate over in LA, so excited to have this volume finally. Alright, up next, during the Fantagraphics sale, which if you don't know, Fantagraphics is a comics/graphic novel publisher who recently got into a lot of this legal battle and a lot of like BS basically because Diamond, the publishing company or the publishing like distributor, went under and kind of screwed over a bunch of people, specifically Fantagraphics in this case, and they're going on an ongoing like kind of legal battle / mess that's going on. So Fantagraphics had a pretty big sale, and I managed to pick up something really cool. So this is Tank Tankoro Gajo Sakamoto's manga's pre-war masters, strips from 1934 to 1935, which is already really flipping cool. But I just want to show you this because this is just a really gorgeous release. I mean, this cover here is super nice. The manga itself is also gorgeous. Just to give you an idea really quick, I'll show you like the first page. But yeah, this is like kind of like interesting old school 30s look, and I'm really excited to get into this. I haven't heard anybody talk about this, so I'm interested to read it, and I will give my thoughts on it hopefully soon. Alright, this one's a little bit different. So this, I did a whole entire video on, so if you want to go watch that and get my full opinions on it, you should definitely go check that out. But I managed to pick up the magazine, Young Magazine, here in the US for the first time ever. It's a really, really cool release. It was given out free at Anime, I believe it was Anime NYC, as well as at Anime Expo, but my friend managed to pick them up because they had them also distributed at Kinokuniya, and I had my friend hold on to it for the past couple months, and I was finally able to pick it up from them. So thank you so much. You know exactly who you are, but this thing is so flippin' cool. It's got a variety of stories. Like I said, if you want my full opinions on it, go check out the video. Okay, coming into Tokyo Pop. First up, I picked up Volume 1 of Rose Hip Rose from Toru Fujisawa. I don't know much about this. I just know Toru Fujisawa is the mangaka behind GTO, which is a series that I really enjoy. So I'm excited to see how he's going to pull off an action series. And then up next, I managed to find Volume 5 of Welcome to the NHK, which is the next volume that I needed. I am surprised that I managed to find this, I'm not going to lie. But yes, it's in great condition. This is the, looks like this is the published to order, or whatever you want to call it, that Tokyo Pop was doing right before they went out of business the first time around, where like they're printing on really nice paper and basically printing when people bought stuff. So pretty interesting concept. Definitely didn't work in the long run, but yeah, excited to have another volume of Welcome to the NHK. Alright, coming in from Kana, I haven't actually opened this just yet, but this is Manhole, Volume 3 from Tetsuya Tsutsui. This is a really terrifying and creepy horror manga. It follows a story about like these kind of like zombie-like creatures or people that have been like slowly but surely infecting all of Tokyo, so the police are trying to figure out what the heck is going on, because it appears like it is coming from manholes across the city and across the country. So it's really interesting, it's really nasty, it's really gross, and the first two volumes definitely pull up the tension. It's intense, it's a lot of fun, and I'm happy to have the third volume. And up next, that is going to be City Hunter Volume 1 from Tsukasa Hojo. Yes, sir, Reboss. We finally have City Hunter back in publishing, back in English. We did originally get this a long time ago from a publisher known as Raijin. They went out of business, of course, so we never got full City Hunter volumes, but here we are back. They have done it. The new publisher on the block, Kana, has released it in a omnibus format, and yeah, it's just really cool to have. I did read this for the FVI for September, so definitely go check that out if you want my full opinions on this. Alright, up next, I was graciously provided advance copies from Kodama Tales, who is a new publisher, and their first manga here in America, here in English, is genuinely one of the craziest, like I would say, intro releases I think I've ever seen from a publisher, and that is going to be Baki the Grappler, volumes 1 and 2 from Keisuke Itagaki. I have not read volume 2 just yet, but as you can see, I have read volume 1 because it is open, and yes, it is the iconic, super popular, super intense, super ridiculous, and over-the-top action series following the story of Baki Hanma, who is basically training and fighting to become the strongest fighter in the world. A lot of people have talked about the series. It is notorious for a variety of reasons, both positive and negative in ways. I would say it's also a very divisive series as well. But yes, it's really exciting to have this. Kodama Tales really killed it with this release, and I'm not just saying that because they provided me for free. Like, actually, this is a really crazy debut release. I love the holographic that they used. I already talked about this in the FVI, but I love the holographic that they used for the first print of the volumes. I love that they have the French flaps as well as an obi sash for this specific for the first volume, which is really flipping cool. The page quality is really nice. The art looks great. The translation is awesome. It's just a really, really fantastic release, and I'm super happy to have been provided these. Thank you so much to Kodama Tales for these 2 volumes. Okay, up next from Kodansha, we have ourselves the volume 13 of Wand Dance from Coffee. Love this series. I've talked about it to death on this channel, and I'm just super excited to have another volume. Alright, up next, Tune Into the Midnight Heart, Volume 2 from Masakuni Igarashi. I talked about this series when the first volume came out, and yeah, it was really fun. I liked that first volume, but basically it follows a story about this boy who is just so used to listening to this like old, basically radio that would come on at midnight, and then like they kind of talk to each other, and at the end of it, she abruptly ends it, so he goes on a journey to try to find who this person is. So it's pretty silly and kind of ridiculous series. The main character is like so over the top and ridiculous that it's kind of funny in a way. And yeah, I don't know. It's just it's been very enjoyable, and I'm happy to have the second volume. Alright, coming in from another one from Kodansha, this is Medalist, Volume 10 from Sudumaikata, another one of my favorite series currently releasing. It is so amazing, and I'm happy to have the next volume. Alright, let's keep on going. So, from Square Enix, I picked up the next 3 volumes of Apothecary Diaries. This is volumes 5 through 7 from Natsuhyuga, Neko Kurage, Itsuki Nanao, and Toko Shino. My wife has been a huge fan of this series, so that's actually really why I've been picking this up. I personally haven't been reading it too much, but she has been just completely falling in love with it, so I've been picking up volumes for her since this series is a part of my collection. So, yes, I hope she's been enjoying it, and I know she is, so eventually I will catch up. Alright, coming in from Dark Horse, we have ourselves the Blood Blockade Battlefront Volume 1 Omnibus by Yasuhiro Naito, who is the mangaka behind Trigun. And yes, I am very excited to have Blood Blockade Battlefront back in print. While I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of Dark Horse's omnibuses, because I just think they're just so big and kind of overbearing, but to have Blood Blockade Battlefront come back is just really nice, because this series has been out of print for quite a while, and it's just really unfortunate. That just seems to be the case with a lot of Dark Horse stuff, where it kind of feels like you really need to be there when it comes out for the first time, or you just have to wait for a collector's edition, because that seems to be what their MO is currently. But super happy to have Blood Blockade Battlefront. I have watched a good chunk of the anime, and I've read the first volume of the manga, but yeah, it's basically just follows like this kind of like a detective sort of kind of agency of all these like people who have all these like special powers, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's exactly what you'd expect from Yasuhiro Naito, where you're gonna have like these chaotic, ridiculous fights and a lot of very memorable characters. So happy to have it again. Alright, up next I have Arabana from Anon. I talked about this in my FVI, but I'm really happy to have this. This is a very interesting series that I didn't really know too much about. I just saw the cover, I thought it looked really cool, and I was like, I gotta go pick that up. So definitely picked it up, and then yes, I did enjoy it. But yes, it follows a story about this girl here who holds this really deep, dark secret that she kills her friend, so then she ends up telling the police, and ends up like kind of becoming this crazy, complicated, very tangled web story of just lies and deceit and all these various things. It's very interesting, and I'm happy to have the first volume. And last but not least from Dark Horse, probably the most interesting out of all the Dark Horse things that I picked up, and one of the most interesting manga that I picked up over the month, and that is going to be Shadow Lady, The Awakening from Masakazu Katsuda. This is the same manga behind Video Girl AI, as well as Ease, or Eyes, I think. I always, I never really knew how to say it. But yes, this series, I honestly, after that, I don't know too much about it. The volume isn't necessarily in like the best quality that you could get, but to even find this in print is super cool, especially for it being the collected volume. I think it's a little bit easier to find the singles personally, I don't want to say, but really cool to have this. I don't know much about it, but I know people really enjoy this series, so I'm excited to go check it out as well. Okay, now to the Yen Press section. I received all these volumes for free from Yen Press, so I'm going to show them really quick and not really give my opinions on them because I will be giving them in the reading log. But thank you so much to Yen Press for providing these volumes. So first up, Licorice Recoil Volume 1 Official Comic Anthology Repeat. Rock is a Lady's Modesty from Hiroshi Fukuda, Volume 1. And What Do You Call This Trash by Tetsu Kazu. Okay, and then last but not least, because I forgot to mention it before, I also picked up Laid Back Camp Volume 4 from Afro. Yes, Laid Back Camp is a series I'm trying to catch up on. I've been very slow on getting the volumes just because it's been really difficult to find the volumes, not gonna lie. But I'm happy to have this one. It's a really chill, just kind of fun little light series that I've been enjoying, that I do enjoy, so can't wait to catch back up. Alright, let's get into the biggest section of all time. That is the Viz Media section. Almost always the biggest in these videos, just because I tend to pick up a lot of Viz Media. I can't lie. So first up, from their pulp line, yes, their pulp line from very, very long time ago. That is going to be Dance Till Tomorrow from Naoki Yamamoto. Yes, I don't know much about this series personally, but I have seen it a lot, and it's usually very expensive. So I managed to fan this first volume in very good condition, but I am very interested to check it out, and yeah, hopefully it's pretty cool. Alright, coming up next, from the Shoujo Beat line, this is the last volume of Time Stranger Kyoko from Arina Tanemura. I now own the entire series, so I will be reading this sometime soon. But yes, if you know my quest, I am on a quest to collect all of Arina Tanemura's English releases, for better or for worse. Because I am very much split on her series currently. I really enjoyed Sakura Hime. I thought that series was really fun. I really enjoyed Full Moon until the end, and it really kind of soured my entire feeling about that series. And then the Idol one, yeah, we don't talk about the Idol one, but I have not read the Jian one quite yet, and then Time Stranger Kyoko I have not read either, so I'm definitely interested to check this one out. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Alright, up next, also from the Shoujo Beat line, this is A Star Brighter Than the Sun from Kazune Kawahara. Oh, wow, I'm having a day today with words. But yes, A Star Brighter Than the Sun. Why do I want to say straw so bad? Kazune Kawahara, mangaka behind High School Debut. I've been enjoying this series quite a bit. The first two volumes were a lot of fun. Definitely what you would expect from Kazune Kawahara, but it's nice and lighthearted. It's nice and easy to read. The characters are likable, and I cannot wait to continue reading this one. Alright, up next from Viz. This was actually one of my White Whales, a volume I never thought I was actually going to be able to find for an affordable price. That is volume 6 of Shakugan no Shana from Yasuchiro Takahashi, Ayato Sasakura, and Noizumi Ito. And I say that because this series is notoriously one of the many Viz series that they canceled before it was finished. So this is the final volume in the English release. I believe there are 10 volumes for the actual full manga release. So, huge shame. But this volume specifically has been extremely difficult to find. I've been able to find volumes 1 through 5 pretty easily, to be honest, but volume 6 has been the one proven to be very difficult. So, super excited to have it, and I'm going to be reading through the series hopefully soon. Alright, up next, In Your Pasta, Volume 16, Rumiko Takahashi. Yep, that's another volume of Inuyasha. I'm excited to get into this one as well. Alright, up next, from the Shonen Sunday line, slash the S with the really fast looking logo, that is Sumiki Ogami's Not So Ordinary Life from Miyu Morishita, a series that I stated that I judged heavily on its cover, and I shouldn't have, because this series is a lot of fun. The first volume was really good. I had a great time with it, and volume 2, spoilers, is just as good. I will talk more about this in the reading log. Alright, up next, I picked up the first volume of Project Arms from the first Revelation, The Awakening, from Ryoji Minagawa and Kyoichi Natsuki. Yes, I just want to point out really quick, this American logo is genuinely hideous. I hate it so much. There's something about it that just is killing me inside. The logo here, this part, is... I like this logo part better than this. Oh god. But I don't know anything about this, but I managed to find this for a cheap price, and I am a big fan of picking up series that a lot of people don't really talk about, so I'm excited to check this one out. Alright, from the Shonen Jump line, we have ourselves volumes 6 and 7 of Nura, Rise of the Yokai Clan from Hiroshi Shibashi. This is a series that I've been slowly but surely collecting because it is a series that I definitely want to read at some point. I really enjoyed the first volume and also when it got its preview back in Shonen Jump a long time ago. And I held off on collecting it because I thought that it would stick around longer. Well, foolish me, it didn't, and it was out of print for a long time and out of stock for a long time, but Viz has been recently kind of reprinting a lot of their old stuff for some reason, so I think my chance to pick up more of Nura Rise of the Yokai Clan is coming very soon, but excited to continue reading this one. Alright, up next, Juju on That Beat, Volume 27, also known as Jujutsu Kaisen from Gege Akutami. Yeah, we have another volume, and yeah, there's not much to say. I don't know, it's Jujutsu Kaisen. Yep, we have another volume. There it is. We did it. Alright, up next, Volumes 4 and 5 of Undead Unluck from Yoshifumi Tezuka. Another one of those series that I've been really enjoying recently. It's been a lot of fun, to be honest. It follows the story about these two here. Andy, and I believe her name is Fuko, I want to say. Yeah. Nice. Okay, I'm good with names, guys. Andy and Fuko. Andy is unkillable, aka he is undead, as the name suggests, and Fuko has the ability known as Unluck, which basically gives her, forces people to have misfortune if they ever touch her in a variety of different ways, and depending on how aggressive that she is touched, the unluck is worse and worse. So, interesting concept. It's a lot of fun. It's the first volume, I will say, struggle bus, didn't really like it. I was like, I saw some, potential there, but it's just like, the premise kind of weirded me out. But as you continue reading it, honestly, it becomes a really fun and interesting story. I think the overall world building is quite interesting, and I'm excited to see where this story is going to go. And yes, I'm happy to have the next 2 volumes that I needed. And I need to go grab a volume, so give me 1 second. I forgot to bring this one up before, and I made sure to check that I did pick it up. I totally forgot to grab it. But that is Komi Can't Communicate, Volume 35 from Tomohito Oda, and you know what they always say? It's Komi. Thank you. Alright, up next, from the Viz signature line, we have ourselves Maisana Koku Volume 3 from Rumiko Takahashi. I have been waiting a long time to get the next volume of the series because finding this volume in good condition has been very difficult for whatever reason. I don't know why, but I really do enjoy this Viz Media release. I think this one's really nice. And yeah, this is a very classic series from Rumiko Takahashi. Follows the story about these people who all live in this boarding house, and like the main character is smitten with the like the landlord, and it's about their kind of like relationship / friendship and the relationships of all these people. But yeah, it's a really interesting kind of like slice of life series that really focuses on the characters quite a bit, and I just really enjoy that. And yeah, happy to have the 3rd volume. Alright, up next, this is an early release, I think, or maybe it's not, but this is Kamudo, Volume 1 from Akira Himekawa. Yes, this is the mangaka behind the Legend of Zelda manga series, so really cool to see them making their own, like, original series. I don't know much about this specific, but this cover is absolutely gorgeous, and I just had to pick it up because I really enjoy Akira Himekawa's work. Alright, up next, Heart Gear Volume 6 from Tsuyoshi Takaki. We are very close to getting to the end of this series, and I'm a little sad about it because I actually think this series has a lot of really great moments. The art is always gorgeous. Tsuyoshi Takaki is a really strong artist, and I've really enjoyed their previous work, Black Torch, which was unfortunately axed, and you can tell because the ending is very abrupt. But Heart Gear, I think, builds off that in such a good way. The art is just as good, if not better. The story is quite interesting and complex and very exciting, and yeah, I've just been really having a lot of fun with it. I know that the series has officially ended now, and I'm going to be very sad when I get to that last volume, but happy to have this awesome volume of a dystopian sci-fi series. Alright, up next, another dystopian kind of sci-fi series, but mostly a dystopian like thriller mystery series. That is Fool Knight from Kasumi Yasuda, Volume 6. So happy to have another volume of this series. This is probably one of my favorites that's been releasing over the past couple years, and for good reason. The art is great, the story is interesting, the characters are awesome, and it's just like there's so much going on, and it's just a lovely, lovely read. I'm happy to have the next volume. Up next, Hira Yasumi, Volume 6 from Keigo Shinzo. Really fun slice of life series. I've been talking about it on this channel for a while now, and I love it a lot. So happy to have the next volume. And last, but certainly not least, the last volume I'm going to be talking about today that I picked up, that is Dogs Red, Volume 3 from Satoru Noda. Yes, this is the hockey series that's ridiculous, rambunctious, hilarious, and so much fun, from the mangaka behind Golden Kamui. So this is the newest volume about this crazy hockey team and their sights on becoming the national champions. So yeah, I'm excited to have this new volume. Yes, and that's going to be it for this video. That is everything that I picked up in the month of September 2025. It was a lot. I did not read a lot, as you will see in the reading log upcoming, because, like I said, it was a very busy month. So it was a great month for buying stuff, and not a really great month for reading stuff. So hopefully October's a little bit better. I am going to be going on my honeymoon soon to Japan in late October, so the videos will be filmed ahead of time. I guess that is a spoiler, but yes, I am so happy to have picked up all these manga. It's been a lot of fun. I'm going to ask the question, what have you been picking up this past month? Let me know in the comments below. And yes, are you interested in any of the manga that I picked up? Let me know in the comments below. And you know what to do. You can like, you can comment, you can subscribe. Those are all amazing things, and I love it when you do it. And I thank you so much for watching, as always. September was an awesome month. You guys make it so much worth it to make these videos, to have fun with it, and just enjoy myself and to have a great time. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye!